Hello and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel in the first place. Today we have a Kirishima listener. If you're in the live chat, be respectful and let's go ahead and get into it. Every muscle in your body ached as you climbed onto the train, the evening sunlight streaming through its windows. Your classes at UA had finally ended, leaving you free to exit the prison in disguise. It's not that you didn't love UA, but it could be a little overbearing sometimes. Due to the fact that it was already evening, the train wasn't all crowded. In fact, there was only one person in the railroad car that you chose. A boy with crimson red hair stared idly out the window. A bit timidly, you made your way to the seat across from him, clutching your bag tightly to your chest. Now, you had a reputation for being the most clumsy person alive, so it wasn't much of a shocker when you tripped over your own 2 feet and collapsed onto your knees, your bag falling along with you and emptying its contents. Your cheeks ablaze, you rushed to cram the countless papers and books back into your bag before the stranger could take notice. But alas, it was all in vain. Presumably, hearing the thud of your body and backpack combined, the stranger turned in his seat to check out what was happening and immediately came to your aid. "Hey, let me help you," the boy smiled before bending over and helping you gather your things. Even though this was exactly the last thing you wanted, you could definitely use the extra hands. While the boy worked efficiently to collect your things, you took this opportunity to sneak a quick peek. After all, the only thing you knew about this boy was his hair. Why was this boy so hot? Even in the UA uniform he wore, you could definitely see the outline of his muscular arms. Wait, UA uniform? Indeed, the boy was wearing a uniform that was similar to the one you wore, the one you desperately ached to exchange for your favorite fuzzy pajamas that awaited you back at home. The boy's eyes were much like his hair, crimson, alight with such a passion that you wished you could achieve someday. Passion for what? You weren't sure, but your best guess was probably the passion to become one of the best heroes there were, a passion identical to your own. A few of the rays of sunlight that had entered through the windows landed on the boy's hair, giving it the illusion of a living, breathing fire. Throughout the entire task of assembling your items, his happy-go-lucky smile remained in place. Oh, how you instantly loved that smile. Quickly looking down, focusing your attention back on the pens scattered beneath you, afraid of getting caught staring at this handsome stranger. Almost as soon as you had looked away, the boy decided that one small peek at the person he was helping wouldn't hurt, right? After all, he finished picking everything up. Wow, that was the boy's first impression of you. In all honesty, you thought yourself a plain person, nothing special to look at. But through the boy's eyes, you were everything. Your beauty was indescribable, your lush hair that framed your face perfectly without even trying, your skin that looked so incredibly warm and inviting from where he was sitting, and the insane depth of your eyes, similar to a glimmering galaxy, even the way your UA uniform clung in such an appealing way to your frame. Hold on a second, UA uniform? That had the boy's mind reeling. How could you be attending UA and not be noticed by him? The absurdity. Unfortunately for the boy, you had looked up at the exact moment the boy was staring into your eyes. The two of you gazed at each other for maybe half a second before you looked away, your cheeks heating up. The boy scratched his cheek, smiling a tad nervously. "Thank you for helping me with my items," he murmured, gingerly lifting the materials the boy held out of his arms. Holy Mother of All Might, even your voice was beautiful, softer than a marshmallow and just as shy. A choir of angels singing, silver wind chimes blowing in a breeze. "Oh, it was no biggie," the boy reassured, casually, shooting you an easy smile. Hesitantly, you shifted your objects to one arm before holding out your hand for the boy to shake. "I'm listener." The boy surveyed your outstretched hand before taking it into his warm, firm grasp, smiling wider than before, exposing shark-like teeth. "Eijirou Kirishima." Kirishima's unending enthusiasm brought a smile to your face. "Nice to meet you." Likewise, Kirishima stood up with a slight huff as he lifted you along with him, with ease, as if you weighed no more than a feather. You bowed to the crimson-haired boy before returning to the seat that was across from him, the encounter playing on loop in your mind. Kirishima, however, remained standing, having a miniature panic attack. Should he sit beside you, or should he sit where he was? He preferred the option of sitting next to you, but what if you didn't want someone to sit next to you? What if you wanted to be left alone? Why did it all have to be so difficult? Kirishima then had the realization that he probably looked stupid just standing there in the aisle, so he scrambled back into his previous seat, looking anywhere but your direction. The young hero in training tried to muster the courage to try and talk to you, but every time you moved, even just a little bit, his limbs turned into putty and he sank back into his seat, only able to stare at you from afar. He knew this wasn't very manly of him, but he couldn't help it. It's not like you weren't staring at him either. More than once, the two of you had locked eyes, actually, and neither of you would look away this time. A gentle smile here, or a soft giggle there. It felt like you two were the only ones in existence, just in that moment. A sudden and shrill ding popped the happy, soft bubble the two of you were currently floating around in, causing the both of you to jump in your seats. "Stopping at Gapori Street," the conductor's voice announced over the PA, his tone dripping with boredom. "Guess that's your cue." You arose from your seat, slinging your backpack over your shoulder and making your way to the door that pushed open, shooting one last look at the boy now known as Kirishima. He slightly waved at you with a seemingly knowing smile before turning back in his seat as he withdrew his phone. Stepping out onto the orange glow of the evening sunlight, you walked the path that you had walked countless of times, balancing on the raised curbs that came your way. Not maybe a minute later that you had been walking home, your phone vibrated. Extracting the silver device, you opened up the screen to see an airdrop from an unknown phone labeled as Kiri's phone. This must be Kirishima from the train, but what could he possibly want? Airdrop. Kiri's phone would like to share a note, decline, or accept. And so you accepted, and the note read, "To listener, I really hope this is you," and then his phone number. Did he just... He airdropped you his number. The blush that had long faded from your cheeks was stroked back to life, this time spreading to your ears and maybe even your forehead. Did this boy really find you that interesting? I mean, you weren't complaining, he was pretty cute. You inhaled before opening up your messaging app, typing in the number that Kirishima had provided, and that number was in fact a valid one. You bit your bottom lip, debating on what to say to him first. Listener is typing. Hey. The three little dots indicating that Kirishima was typing appeared maybe a millisecond after you sent your message, which instantly made you smile a bit bashfully. Eijirou, Kirishima is typing. Hi. Alright, so that's the end of this one. I hope you enjoyed. This fanfic was like super cute. I love it. Okay, music link, fanfic link, Discord link, and thumbnail art link will all be in the description. Please go check the author out. Anyway, I hope you have a great rest of your day, night, whatever, and I hope to see you in the next one. Goodbye!